month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down. The snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. Let's put numbers together. Let's get a budget put together. And let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Ever felt judged at the gym?
You don't know how to use the leg curl machine? Are you serious? Is this your first day alive? No, it's okay. I love helping people during their first day on Earth.
At Planet Fitness, get energy without the judgment and join the judgment-free zone. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Get energized today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal extended through Friday, January 19th. See Home Club for details.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Against Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Against Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is On the Block with Strickland Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strickland Austin.
Welcome to it, a beautiful, beautiful Monday here in the capital city. I'm Austin Norman, joined as always by the Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet, Mr. Erick Strickland. Stricky, my friend, good weekend. How are you?
Doing great.
How was WWE?
But it was off the chain.
Off the chain.
I had a great time. Me, Bach, Jake, as well as DP, man. We got to see it front and center. Everybody was getting dumped onto the announcer's table and thrown over right in front of us. So it was pretty cool, man. It was a great show.
Glad to hear that. Good weekend otherwise, too?
A great weekend otherwise. I don't see any snow angels or anything out there that you should have jumped in because they didn't come through.
They did not. On the Block 93.7. That's the Twitter account you need to follow. Again, I will make it a standing offer for the rest of the week. Get that account at On the Block 937 on Twitter to 50 followers by the end of the week. I'll go jump in the snow, make a snow angel. I'll do it live on camera too. Stricky knows how to run this stuff, so he can run the show while I'm outside. Not debasing myself, but, making a snow angel. This is On the Block, brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Not open today, not open tomorrow, which is why we appreciate our friend Delco Dave for dropping off his Philly cheesesteaks. Go check him out these next couple days. Mary Ellen's will be back open for you on Wednesday. Strick, let's dive back into Nebraska men's basketball and their loss to Iowa. 94-76, Huskers get down 14-2 in the early going. And that to me was the most disappointing part, right? It's one thing to go on the road and lose, but to come out and not put up any fight and get down double digits in the first 5 minutes of the game, that's how you could kind of tell Nebraska wasn't in a good headspace.
Yeah. Getting down and then just not having any moxie in you to say, you know what, let's change this. Let's reset. Let's go back in, break, and let's get back out there. It was like one of those types of things. And, as good as Nebraska plays, and here's why that it was a lackluster effort. All right. They shoot 45% from the field, getting out on you in that way. Now, they could have opened the door for you to get back in because they didn't shoot a whole bunch of free throws and they were poor at it when they did do it. But yet, only 35% from three. So the way that they got out on Nebraska, you would have thought that they were shooting lights out. Like they were hitting everything and doing everything right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it got worse. So in the second half, they shoot almost 60% and 55% from three. There's nothing you can come back from at that point, right? No, it's a wrap. But here's why. Here's why it's an issue. You never put real pressure on them. From the beginning, when you come out lackluster like that, it just it gives the offense and the home team or any team a little bit different swagger about you. It's like on a football field, you looking across from your opponent and seeing that glazed look in their eyes, and you're like, oh, I'm going to kill this dude today. Like, I'm going to tell him about it too, right? It's a look, if you're old enough to remember, it's the same look that Dirk Nowitzki had when they were the top team in the West, and they go and face the number 8 seed in Golden State and get their butts handed to them. That look that Dirk had, he didn't want no parts of any smoke with that. But the next time, there was a little fire in his eye. There was a little anger. There was a little, I'm here. Don't get it twisted. I'm him. That's the type of thing that you didn't see in any form or by any means in that game. So a team can come out with that type of swagger and just put you to sleep because they know you really don't want this. You don't really want to be here. So we're at home. We're going to give it to you. You got to go beat a team like that early. You got to let them know, we're not having that today. And I don't think they ever gave them that.
They didn't. Credit a little bit because Nebraska did come back after halftime and take the lead, right? They cut it to 5 at half. It was 41-36. Nebraska took its first lead, I think, of the game at 51-50 or 50-49. Before that, the U16 timeout in the second half. And then that was it. Ran out of gas, didn't play hard, went back to the same habits. This is where, Strick, the two things that stood out to me about that game were the energy, right? But also settling. I thought Nebraska settled for some tough shots early, and then Iowa went to that 2-3 zone. Here's the thing. You've seen a 2-3 zone at least a handful of times every year since you were in kindergarten, since you pick up a basketball. Nebraska, its first 5 or 6 possessions, settled for easy threes. They could have gotten it any point. Now, if they make them, okay, cool. You shoot Iowa out of the zone, cool. But Nebraska didn't. There's no rotation. The ball didn't touch all 4 quadrants, didn't get inside. When Nebraska finally took a timeout on that Iowa run, they went to Josiah Alec inside, Rink Mask got a bucket. They made a concerted effort to get it into the high post out and around. But it took Nebraska 5 or 6 possessions to remember, oh, yeah, we can still get the ball inside against the zone and work inside out. Yes.
And I think credit Iowa for surprising them, because Iowa has always and for a long time have been one-on-one, get after you defensively. And they gave them a wrinkle and a twist that probably Nebraska wasn't ready for, but you should be.
It's just a 2-3 zone.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You should be. And it did what it was designed to do. Cause you to settle, cause you to get lazy, because guess what you have to work for? And they had to work for the last games. And in order to beat Purdue, you had to work for shots. They didn't want to work for it. And this is why I think, and I'm going to try to, hopefully I'm going to try to get one of the players or one of the coaches this week to come on, maybe before the game. But this is what's difficult, is when you're having success, you get a form of complacency that says, and there's nobody scared of you.
You're still just Nebraska.
Yes. You're still, there's no team scared of you. And I think even more, there used to be kind of an aura about you when you kind of came into the building. Like whenever we came into the building, I know that teams were like, "Oh, it's gonna be physical, and we got to get our track shoes on." Like they knew what to expect, and we're gonna get after you defensively. So I don't I think even more now than any, there's like that aura of anybody's gone. We don't care who you are nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
These kids play enough AAU ball against some of the top players in the country, sometimes in the world, and they're not afraid. They've seen any and all things at all times. And so there's no afraid of going into somebody's building. It's just who wants it more. And I think Iowa just wanted it a little bit more.
I think that's fair to say. OG CJ on the text line says he just hit the follow button on Twitter. Boom. Boom is right, OG CJ. Appreciate you following the On the Block account. Again, get it to 50, and I will do a snow angel out in front live on camera. Then we have Al saying both the men's and women's teams come out and shoot threes. Why? Both need to work the paint, try to get early fouls on your opponent. Yes, but here's the thing. Nebraska didn't even attempt its season average of threes. Nebraska shot fewer threes. They were just worse opportunities. They were worse looks. Rink Mass was the leading scorer for Nebraska in that game, tied with Josiah Alec. Actually played pretty well off the bench. Eli Rice, you mentioned, did a good job. I thought attacking. There was no one that could stop Eli Rice in that matchup. He took full advantage, which was great. But Nebraska went through those stretches, Strick, that we've seen from this program for too long, is they'll go 4 or 5 minutes without getting a good shot, let alone not even making a shot, but not getting a good shot. And it hit at the worst time, right? As they had taken the lead, they had crawled back. That's when you have to find a way to press that turbo button, right? Not let off the gas. Don't put it in cruise control. You got to keep your foot on the gas and maintain instead of letting the other team off the hook.
Tell Jessica Soto what the handle is real quick.
It is.
Thank you, Jessica, on the Facebook stream. We're going to give you the handle, and then we're going to get back to this.
It is at On The Block 937. At On The Block 937 on Twitter. Go follow, get us to 50. That's our goal.
There it is. So now that's the part that's hardest because it takes effort.
Mm-hmm.
It does. To beat a team down, that's what Nebraska did against Purdue. They stayed on the attack. They set screens. They did all the things that take effort. Extra effort on rotations, help and recover.
Communicating.
All of that stuff takes effort. And it should even be more of that type of play when you go on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to do it on your own. So you don't have the inspiration of crowds and noise and fans or being at home. No, you got to kind of drum that up within everybody in that group.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you look at the Nebraska basketball team, who in that group do you see is the person that can do that?
We've had this conversation all year, Strick, and I don't necessarily see a person that's going to be that one.
Outside on the offensive side, it's Tamanaga.
Right.
On the defensive side, it's by effort, is Sam Hoiberg. By effort.
Okay, sure.
He's one. Mm-hmm. Gary could be. He could
fluctuates, though.
But he fluctuates, and that's part of the issue. So there's no one that does it consistently. Now, back in my time, I was him.
Mm-hmm.
Vocally and by effort.
Mm-hmm.
Teron Lou was by effort. Terrence Badgett, effort. Juwan Boone, offense. Mikey Moore, effort and, just intensity, like going in blocks and running and dunks. He did it by show.
He doesn't have to talk a whole lot, but he had that energy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That aura you're talking about.
Vincent Hamilton, just get it done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There really wasn't many guys like that. Bruce Chubbuck, vocal.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Effort, hustle,
mm-hmm.
grind. And then Pike just give you buckets.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll defend, but he wasn't vocal.
Right.
So we had enough of guys on our team, but you can't really identify it on this team yet because CJ Wilcher, Bryce are very much the same. They do it by just play. They just play. Juwan, hustle, effort, but inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Hoiberg, I don't think he feels he has the voice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It'd be one thing if he was like Jordan Bohannon or Aaron Kraft, but I do wonder if there's the coach's kid, will everyone, take me seriously?
I think that does play into it, and it's unfortunate because I think he could be a good advocate
he needs to be.
For that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just look at that team and I don't see anyone that is able to do that, especially when you're on the road.
Mm-hmm. The part that was, I guess, most disappointing, Strick, was if Nebraska wasn't going to work on the defensive end, right? It seemed like they had no interest in doing that consistently. Then at least save some of that offense or that energy for offense. But here's the thing. The tone is set on defense. I think everyone that's played basketball can tell you they play better on offense when they're engaged on defense because they know they have to work hard, that they're going to earn what they're going for. Yeah, they're guys that, can go get a bucket whenever it is they want. But the vast majority of players have that tone set on the defensive end. Even if you're giving up a lot of points, if you're at least putting in effort, communicating, rotating, offense comes so much more easily. But I think part of the reason Nebraska didn't work to get good shots on offense because they weren't engaged, trying to be engaged on defense.
Do I even need to answer that? I mean, that's rhetorical. Yeah, Austin, you're on it, man. That's it. I think, but this is where we're going to see, are they really listening? Because I think they're going to be able to watch film and see that was such a lack of, all out effort to really get a game. Like this is a crossroads moment, I think, for Nebraska basketball to have the discussion of this. How good do you really want to be? Do you really want to go to the NCAA tournament? If you answer that question, yes, then if you do, here's what you're going to need to do on a night-to-night, game-to-game basis in order for it to happen. Show it to them, show them contrast, show them this, show them that, clips. If you even got a clip, maybe don't even break down a whole game. Show them clips of what it's going to look like, and then hold them accountable to that. I think you have enough depth on this team that you may not like it or may not want to, but you have enough depth on this team that if you really need to make a statement to the guys, you have the possibility of doing so. Giving other guys an opportunity.
Find that moment, right? Because like you're saying, Nebraska could be at that moment, at that crossroads. Road game again at Rutgers on Wednesday. Rutgers certainly not vintage Rutgers, but they have been under Steve Peichel. Plenty good enough to beat you, though. Plenty good enough to beat Nebraska. So that'll be I believe, 5 o'clock Central tip-off here, Central Time. We'll have post-game coverage here on 93.7 The Ticket. Little programming note, here in just about an hour, we have kickoff from Orchard Park, Bills and Steelers. And you can hear that on the 93.7 The Ticket airways. So if you want to listen to the football game, stick on the FM dial. But we would appreciate it if you would migrate with us over to Stream. Again, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, as well as Allo Channel 951. That'll be coming up at 3:30 is when we'll make that switch. We'll step aside when we get back. We'll start diving into those NFL playoffs. Just like the fans in Buffalo are trying to tackle the snow, we'll tackle some headlines from the first couple days of games after this.
Cover more acres with a pre-owned sprayer or planter from Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer. We offer one of the area's largest selections of used sprayers, applicators, planters, and seeders. Through the month of January, take advantage of fixed-rate financing of 3.9% for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest waiver. Visit your local Landmark Implement location or view our complete sprayer and seeder inventory at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doan experience has been life-changing.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying, let's sit around the table, let's drop some plans, let's put numbers together, let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
If Ewers throws that ball to the front pylon, Texas might have tied that game up and had a chance to win it.
That moment right there, it's one of those moments that every young man dreams about. There's two outcomes in that moment. You're a gamer or you tense up.
You're a gamer, you're a goner.
Or you're a goner.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, chance of snow expected this morning, otherwise mainly cloudy, breezy and cold. We'll see a high of just 1. Tonight, mainly clear and very cold. We'll see an overnight low around -12. And tomorrow, more sunshine on the way. It'll be cold, though. We'll see a high of around 10. Meteorologist Kyle Clicker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block. He's Strick here, Austin Orman. It is a Monday morning. It's still iceberg slim outside. It's cold as ice, literally. But we're warm in here on the block. It was cold out there in Iowa City. We talked about that as well. As a tough loss for the Lady Huskers as well. Struggled in the same manner. Definitely felt the briskness of the cold. It was cold in their shooting. But it was hot for the Green Bay Packers, who is used to playing in the frozen tundra. Found their way into Jerry's world, playing against the number 2 seed, 12-5 Dallas Cowboys, who actually had an 8-0 record at home. But they come in there with a lot of pressure because, again, we've talked about these matchups, and this was one of those matchups where Mike McCarthy, who was a former coach for Green Bay, then you have the youngest team, I think average of 25 years, the youngest team in not only the playoffs, but dang near in the NFL. First time starting playoff game quarterback. Receivers that by rank is one of the tops as far as for their age and you know, their years of service. Over 36, I think 3,643 yards or something like that. One of the they're at the top.
They're pretty solid.
So they're a good team. But it was the defense that got them underway. Big plays from the defensive side of things, pick sixes, interceptions, getting stops that led to a 48-32 shellacking of the Dallas Cowboys, which we'll talk a little bit more about the Mike McCarthy situation. But tell me initially what your thoughts was about the game. Doggone Cowboys were a 7-point favorite coming into the game. And nobody thought, after having the record that they had at home, that they would come up short in at least this game.
No, I thought the Cowboys would probably have to squeak this one out. I really like that Green Bay offense. I said last week, Strick, that I picked Dallas to win, but I wouldn't be shocked if Green Bay pulled it off. But the way Green Bay did it and how emphatic a win it was is what got me. Like 48-32 is kind of deceiving. The game wasn't that close. Dallas scored a couple times in that fourth quarter to make it closer, but this felt more like a 3-possession game than the 2-possession game it turned out to be. Jordan Love was balling. Aaron Jones had a bit of a resurgence as well.
Yes.
Did not expect to see the Cowboys run defense.
300-yard games to close out the season and have this additional one. I mean, and what better time to have it?
No better time at all. Dallas, again, will not go back to the NFC Championship game. Still haven't been since 96, which is wild to think about. And how about this, Strick? The Green Bay Packers now have more playoff wins at Jerry World than the Dallas Cowboys do.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
How is that possible? You just spoke about something that literally blew my mind, and I have a little take on it. There it is. The Dallas Cowboys. I wish I could show you guys because you wouldn't believe it. Their last 13 playoff appearances, 1998, lost in the wild card. 1999, lost in the wild card. Didn't go back until 2023, lost again in the wild card. 3 years later, in 2006, lost in the wild card. 2007, a year later, lost in the divisional. Took a step up. 2 years later, 2009, lost in the divisional. 2014, lost in the wild card. 2016, lost in the wild card. 2018, lost in the divisional. 2021, lost in the wild card. And 2022, lost in the divisional. And this year, lost in the wild. So 3 years under McCarthy now. They've now lost twice in the wild card and once in the and then this is after having multiple 12-win seasons.
It shouldn't be possible, right? The Cowboys are talented. They
at least past the wild card.
Right.
Come on.
You can't win a playoff game.
That's crazy.
At home. A playoff game.
You seen the memes?
In your building.
The memes are absolutely hilarious.
It's not a logo, it's a rating. 1 star. Yes.
I saw one today. They had Michael Jackson. They're doing the Michael Jackson on it was like the Wizard of Oz thing that he did, and they were playing like this dude was a scarecrow, and they were talking about losses. The memes are absolutely hilarious, but even more so, let's shift the conversation. I said something right here on the block. I said, I think if they lose this game, Mike McCarthy's fired. Do you think that still happens, or do you think they're going to give him another shot?
Let me answer your question with a question from the text line. Colgan J says, Strick and Austin, I feel like Jerry Jones is so much the problem in Dallas. I don't know that it would matter who the head coach was. As long as Jerry is roaming the sidelines, they won't be successful.
Do you think it's a curse, or is it more because my thing is I actually think it might be a quarterback situation, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I like Dak. I think his numbers, but if you just go and track the big games, the real significant games that have some form of importance, how does he fare?
I would love to know. It does. I mean, here's the thing. Most quarterbacks are going to take that step back, right? Most quarterbacks, when they play other good teams, aren't going to perform as well. Your Mahomes, your Brady's, those are the exceptions to the rule. But Dak's first interception, I put on him a little bit, but not as much, right? That's just a heck of a snag by Jair Alexander.
No doubt.
Good play. The second one was bad. The second one was absolutely atrocious, right?
He was standing right there.
Right there. Walked right into it, right through it.
So
right
he pre-read.
Right.
He just basically predetermined.
But last year, do you think Dak was the one that made the call to run and get tackled short of the first down marker without a timeout?
No.
I think that was a McCarthy thing. But I also don't necessarily think it's fully Mike McCarthy's fault.
So you think he should have pulled the Jameis Winston?
Maybe. Sure. Yeah. Whatever. Like, there isn't one problem. Is Jerry Jones in his demeanor part of the problem? Absolutely it is. But you're the 2 seed, the Packers were the 7. Right? Put a better game plan together. Someone step up and make a play. Jerry has no control over that. If you're the coach, right, Mike McCarthy, you've been in the league for at least 20 years as a head coach, and you still don't know how to close a playoff game? That's on you. That's not on Jerry Jones or your players necessarily. But if you're, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb had that drop. The offensive line trick, I didn't think was all that great. He kind of did.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
He looked like
9 for 110 is a good game, but it wasn't an impactful 9 for 110, I would say.
So here's the question, though, right? Because even if you're throwing this around, there's a great one that's out there. One who could possibly, I think, add an exclamation mark to the defense. I think could probably bring in somebody that can really do some things with the offense. And I think for this player, Dak Prescott is serviceable. Now, you've got to understand that Dak Prescott, there's nothing you can do with Dak Prescott at this particular moment because Dak Prescott has a $60 million dead cap hit to them. So there's nothing you can do with Dak until after 2024. So get that out your mind. There's nothing that you can do with it. He's stuck. But there's a coach that I think could possibly revamp it. It could reinvigorate it. But there's 2 pieces to it that kind of says I don't think this is what happened, and that's Bill Belichick. There's words going out. There's sparks flying, and people are all excited of the possibility of this happening. But I think Bill Belichick has watched what happened with Jimmy Jones, Jimmy Johnson, has watched kind of how things went, understanding or non-relinquishing of power, and I don't even really think he wants the power, but he at least wants some say-so on things and to be in the room and to have these discussions. I think Dak Prescott is serviceable for a Bill Belichick potentially. I think the defense is ready-made for what he could bring to it and even make it better. But I just think that the Jerry Jones issue would be a hindrance as to why someone like Bill Belichick would want to come.
So probably, yeah. But Bill Belichick also worked with Robert Kraft, who doesn't meddle to the same degree as Jerry Jones, but Kraft and Jerry are probably the 2 most powerful owners in the NFL. So he at least has some sort of understanding of, those power dynamics. So do you want the older, experienced meddling owner in Dallas, or what about Washington? Same division, right? But that is one where I think you can put more your thumbprint on that team.
And they've got cap space that's coming. They've got a lot of ways in which they can improve. And to me, there's so much uncertainty with the Eagles.
The Giants don't scare you.
Yeah. So, you feel you could be 1-2 in that if you really put things together. Are you satisfied with your quarterback in situation? There's big opportunities coming up.
Here's a question for you. Which McCarthy is more likely to be in Dallas next year? Mike McCarthy or JJ McCarthy?
Ooh.
Text line, let us know. Mike or JJ?
Yeah, that's a tough one. And look, I would say at this point, JJ, I think what I would do it. I wouldn't do it at a high note, but I would do it. I wouldn't do it in a first round.
4th, 5th?
I would do it in a third if he's still there. I would do it in a third because third is still a manageable number. It's not a crazy number that you're going to have to shell out if it doesn't pan out. But it's one that you know that you have a serviceable person that can back up if you decide to go another route. Give him a year or two to sit and grow and learn. I think JJ has a skill set that just it wasn't accentuated in Michigan because of just how good they were in the run game, right? I still think he has some capabilities, to be honest.
Since he declared for the NFL draft, I'm sure we'll get to this a little later in the show, but I just don't know who to compare JJ McCarthy to.
Yeah.
You know, like he's probably more athletic and bigger arms than Brock Purdy, but similar, sort of approach, right? Great weapons around him, kind of game manager.
Josh?
I don't think he's as big. He's not as big and physical as Josh Allen.
Okay.
I don't think the arms as big, but the legs and like 85% of Josh Allen, 70%.
Yeah.
I think we're going with that.
Yeah, I'm having trouble trying.
Athletic Kirk Cousins, maybe?
That's what I was going to say next. More athletic Kirk Cousins, possibly. No?
Maybe.
No?
Kirk could sling it, though. Like, we kind of sleep on Kirk Cousins' his ability to throw the football. I don't know if JJ's got maybe he has it. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think it's been underdetermined a little bit. So what are your thoughts? Where do the Cowboys go from here? I know some of you guys are going to be laughing at that. You guys are probably going to say to HE hockey sticks, maybe. But where do they go from here? What type of moves do they need to make? Because a lot of people would have speculated that this Dallas Cowboy team was one that was on the verge of a breakthrough because it was set up perfectly for them. They weren't going to see 49ers until, the championship game, which it was set up perfectly for them. But shout out, let's go over real quick. The best game of the night, the matchup between Goff and Stafford.
Oh, boy.
Huge. That's a huge win for that organization over 30 years, 32 years. And they got a home game and they finished it off. It was tough. It wasn't easy. It's the thing that builds character, and you got it done at home. And now, because of the loss, you now could be sitting in position to no, you got to go to San Francisco.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
No. Green Bay's going to San Fran.
Green Bay. That's right, because they're the higher seed.
Yep.
So Detroit. So you benefit from the Cowboys' loss. Now you get another home
They
game.
host again.
Beautiful
Honolulu Blue win for the Lions. Credit Jared Goff for that, right? I mean, the fans love him. They rallied behind him. His head coach didn't just stick with him, but committed to him, rallied behind him, spoke that confidence, that life into him there. This was a good game, Strick.
It was a great game.
Fantastic game.
The best one,
really
I
back
think,
and forth because the Lions, led pretty much throughout the game. But you could never count the Rams out, right? Stafford led a lot of game-winning drives, in the Super Bowl year, but also in Detroit. Always got him to the precipice of the playoffs. That old Detroit curse sprung up and got him, though. You can take the Matthew Stafford out of Detroit. You can't take the Detroit out of Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Do a lot, but just not quite enough. Credit that running game. Credit the lockdown on Puka Nacua late in that game. McVay had a day, and the Lions defense did just enough to survive.
I will say one last thing before we go to break is that I was actually impressed with the scheme that they had for Aaron Donald. And I watched it, and the communication between the line, the pass offs.
That's a good offensive line, but it's still Aaron Donald.
He was stammered. Like he didn't have all that he would normally have, and credit that offensive line for the work that they did there as well. It gave them enough, for Goff to make plays. So we'll come back. We'll talk the AFC when we come back. We're right here on 93.7. We need some snow angels. Come on through. On the block, 937. But this is 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back after this.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 560-6197.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Are you in the market for a new garage door or need to repair your old one? It's wintertime, and that means snow, wind, and freezing temperatures, all things that can cause sticky locks and damage to your garage door. If you're experiencing any issues with your commercial or residential garage door during the winter months, call Cameron Hall and his team at Doors Plus. Don't be trapped outside in the cold because of a poorly maintained garage door. Call Doors Plus today at 402-590-5800 or visit them online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty and pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Seth Morris, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, chance of snow expected this morning, otherwise mainly cloudy, be breezy and cold. We'll see a high of just 1. Tonight, mainly clear and very cold. We'll see an overnight low around -12. And tomorrow, more sunshine on the way. It'll be cold, though. We'll see a high of around 10. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clicker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever felt judged at the gym?
You don't know how to use the leg curl machine? Are you serious? This is your first day alive? No, it's okay. I love helping people during their first day on Earth.
At Planet Fitness, get energy without the judgment and join the judgment-free zone. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Get energized today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal extended through Friday, January 19th. See Home Club for details.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back on the block once again. As we close out the hour, we're going to get and at least start the conversation. Before we get to the second hour, we're going to talk about the AFC and how things transpired. We're going to start down in the KC Tundra. The KC Tundra.
That Jake Sorensen was not willing to go sit in.
That Jake was not willing to get down there and sit and have any parts of the KC Tundra, but it went down anyway. Miami goes down there to KC as we expected. It was going to be a frozen game, and the hot Florida sun was not going to be available to anything Miami.
Did not pack it.
Didn't pack it, and they end up getting in there and getting curb stomped by the Kansas City Chiefs, 26-7. Would you say it went? I mean, because Mahomes wasn't like super spectacular. Wins were the wins, but guys had tremendous games. You got to look at Rashee Rice. He stepped up for KC, out of nowhere, really. Eight receptions for 130. Sometimes
in his playoff debut.
In his debut. You would be thinking that would be a Kelsey move, but it was not. Then you get Isaiah Pacheco that goes for about 90 yards, 89 yards on 24 carries, just sustainable stuff to get the win. But you look on the other side, Tua is very similar to Dak to me. Shows up from time to time, but when it really matters, just kind of disappears. Only goes for 199, a TD and an interception, a QBR of 15.8, and a rating of 63. Dismal and frigid, to say the least.
And both quarterbacks are playing in the same element. So, yeah, you can say Mahomes is more used to them. But what disappointed me most for Miami, Strick, was the run game. You look at their two running backs, and Mostert and A-Chain combined 14 carries for 49 yards is all. Huge credit to the Chiefs defense for that. But if you hold Miami's, top 5 in the league rushing attack to 42 yards between their two running backs, that's a job well done. I mean, there were only 52 rushing attempts in this game compared, Strick, to 80 pass attempts. 80 pass attempts in that weather. Obviously, it worked out for Kansas City. They put 26 points up on the board. But holy smokes, if I'm Miami, why was I not leaning more into that run game? That was so good all year long. It took a broken play to score for Tyreek Hill. And that's really all the Dolphins offense got going.
I mean, outside of, Devin A-Chain, under 2 yards per carry. Now, okay, he just probably didn't want that bump and grind because, when you get hit in that cold stuff like that, bro, I ain't gonna lie. That's one of the reasons that I don't think I played my senior year, to be honest.
You ever had your helmet break like Mahomes?
No.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry.
I guess that break triggered.
Hey, it came in at 3:00. But hey, we're not going to stay. We're you know what? That's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and take the break, and we'll come back and finish up on the AFC, and we'll come back since it already tried to basically let us know, get out of here, and we'll be right back. 937 The Ticket. We'll come back and talk more about this.
It's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox. KFXL Weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your likely forecast for today. Chance of snow expected this morning. Otherwise, mainly cloudy, breezy, and cold. We'll see a high of just 1. Tonight, mainly clear and very cold. We'll see an overnight low around -12. And tomorrow, more sunshine on the way. It'll be cold, though. See a high of around 10. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you in the market for a new garage door or need to repair your old one? It's wintertime, and that means snow, wind, and freezing temperatures. All things that can cause sticky locks and damage to your garage door. If you're experiencing any issues with your commercial or residential garage door during the winter months, call Cameron Hall and his team at Doors Plus. Don't be trapped outside in the cold because of a poorly maintained garage door. Call Doors Plus today at 402-590-5800 or visit them online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty and pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Seth Morris, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority, inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new Complete Post-Workout Recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying, let's sit around the table, let's drop some plans, let's put numbers together, let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
I'm Christy. I used to smoke cigarettes. I had smoker's cough and severe shortness of breath, and I knew I had to quit. Then I tried e-cigarettes, but I just ended up using both. I really didn't start to get better until I quit smoking completely. My tip to you is just cutting down on the number of cigarettes you smoke isn't enough.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Ever felt judged at the gym?
You don't know how to use the leg curl machine? Are you serious? This is your first day alive? No, it's okay. I love helping people during their first day on Earth.
At Planet Fitness, get energy without the judgment and join the judgment-free zone. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Get energized today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal extended through Friday, January 19th. See Home Club for details.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind. Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Howie was interrupted before we got out of here on the last segment. Listen, I wasn't upset about it because it's great people that love to do work and partner with us here at 93.7 The Ticket. So I wasn't mad about it. We just wanted to go ahead and get to it so we can finish up because something occurred. Former Big Ten quarterback. Everybody had negative things to say about him and his winning pedigree when games matter. First time in the playoffs. First of all, no one in their right minds would have thought, except the true Houston Texans fans, would have believed that the Houston Texans were going to get into the playoffs first and foremost, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you get there. You arrive. You're blessed because you win a weak division.
Mm-hmm.
You get a home playoff game. Oh, no. It's against one of the best defenses in the NFL.
And one of the hottest offenses, too.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Flacco's, like you said, been on fire. Didn't have a bad game. Couple interceptions, but for the most part, didn't have a bad game. But C.J. Stroud, when everybody was saying they didn't believe in him, I know some of us in here during picks and stuff voted against him. But
some people on previous shows call him career loser.
Right. But he showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And in a big way.
Oh, yeah.
3 TDs. And listen, he looked like a consummate professional, like he's been there before. Like it wasn't just the typical, good game. It looked like he belonged. Mm-hmm. He was making reads quick. Ball was getting out quick. But they were the right reads. It wasn't like misreads and just happened. He was making the right. He knew where the open receiver was going to be, and he was getting that ball out of his hands quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked for them.
It sure did. I mean, 45 points on a defense that was one of the best in the league basically all year is one thing. It's another thing to do it when you're in your NFL debut, right? And a lot of this was CJ Stroud. I mean, 16 of 21, 274 yards. That's 13 yards per completion, right? That's something right there. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, didn't get sacked, which is obviously a huge testament to the offensive line. But you're playing against Myles Garrett and you don't get sacked in a game. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Big credit to that offensive line. CJ Stroud, his pocket maneuverability. Singletary was pretty solid, right? 13 for 66. You average 5 yards a pop. That works. And you had a touchdown there. Flacco wasn't terrible. Losing Amari Cooper early in that game, their partnership, their work together, I think was a big deal. And 2 pick sixes. Strick, right? If there's 2 interceptions, maybe your defense can get one back for you. But 2 pick sixes. And of different lengths, too. A 36-yarder and 82-yarder as well. Yeah, it's 14 points in a game that you still would have lost by 17, even if you just wipe those points off the board. But the emotional and mental effect of a pick six is even more than an interception.
Especially on the road.
Right? Oh, I got to go right back out there and do this again. Yeah, I mean, I know it's Joe Flacco. He's been around the block, but Cleveland just didn't look as ready as Houston did.
Yeah, they were very well prepared. Shout out to the Houston Texans getting it done, and they move on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're going to shift and stay in the football, but we're going to go to college football, the Big Ten football headlines of 2024. Some of the things that we've been talking about here on the block. Now it's a new year, but one of those is this. Iowa. It reminds me of Bo Pelini. It reminds me of always getting there, winning games in the season. Your offense is horrendous, but you find a way to win 10 games. I don't care. You're getting the job done. But Kurt Ferentz at Iowa, what's the scenario there? We saw that he was trying to pass the torch down to Brian. That didn't work out.
Nope.
He's getting older.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next steps for Iowa to go to another level? Is it to retain new OC? Where do they go from here? Because it's obvious that Kurt Ferentz is looking for the exit door and a soft landing, and that's not necessarily going to be the case at this point. But what do they do?
Kirk's back. barring a surprise, he's back. OC is next on their to-do list. Paul Chryst has been a name that's been thrown around, and Big Ten fans and people who've played, against Big Ten teams have some familiarity with that name. Former Wisconsin head coach, right? Had some decent offenses in there, and I think Paul Chryst would absolutely would fit the Iowa mold of what they're looking for. But I'm not inspired by the hire of Paul Chryst as their OC. Like, I don't think that necessarily raises their ceiling that much, right? We know that Iowa's going to have a top 5 defense year in, year out under Phil Parker. Even with, Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA coming to the league, I still think Iowa has a top 10 defense. I don't think it slips much at all. They have a lot of pieces back. Higgins, Castro. I know DeJean did declare for the NFL draft, but Iowa's still loaded on defense. But Paul Chryst, if he's their hire for OC, doesn't scare me. It's more of the same. Now, maybe he can be, more innovative than Brian Ferentz was. Maybe he's a better recruiter than Brian Ferentz. I don't know. But it feels like a lateral move to me for them to go get Paul Chryst to replace Brian Ferentz. Now, maybe they pull a surprise out of their hat. Maybe they do, super modernize and bring a spread offense guru. I just don't think that's Kirk's tenure. So I'm less worried about Iowa as a contender in the Big Ten with its current coaching staff. The hire of the next head coach will tell me everything I need to know about who Iowa thinks it is.
Now, here's a debate and a discussion. Sauter Heyman text line 402-464-5685 if you want to join in the discussion. You're welcome to do so. John in Cortland says Iowa, they basically need a new AD.
They just hired a new one.
Well, there you go. That answers your question. Well, John, I don't think that was a question. I think you were letting us know that they do have a new AD. Yeah. Thank you for that. Mississippi Mud Dog says he just started listening, so no clue if you have already talked about it, but go, Pack, go. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Mississippi Mud Dog, he said, I told you that we're going to send them
home.
Yeah. extra words. Cowboys home for this year. Yes, you did, Mississippi Mud Dog, and they did do so. Now, here's a debate that Cluster and I have been having. We've been talking about it. Big Ten has now expanded, and next year is going to be the big year for them. Some have asked questions about whether or not it's going to be, I think Adam Carricker, I was on his show, Adam Carricker's show earlier, where we're talking about it, where would the Big Ten stand in basketball now that some of those teams are moving over? I even was talking with Cluster about how the football will fare. And we talked about Kalen DeBoer, and obviously he is the new coach at Alabama. But Dan Lanning, he decided to stay. Part of the reason I thought it would have been a good move for Kalen DeBoer to stay is there's a different type of pressure that comes on you when you're going to a new location, a new place, that you're probably not called on or have a higher level of responsibility than you have now with what's about to happen to you in Alabama. There's a statue outside of the man that you're now in the shadow of. You have to then go in and probably work harder than you've ever had to, because you've got retention, you've got new, you've got to get the lay of the land, and you've got to do all of this in a short period of time because they just lost their top wide receiver, and guess who they lost it to?
Where'd he go?
Oregon.
No way. I missed that. Do you see Milrose in the portal too?
No, I missed that one. You see what I'm saying? So now there was some stability there coming in. You could even say that you could make a case for the fact that, look what I was able to do with Michael Penix. You're my guy. I think I can take you to another level. There's conversations that can be had for that. Going to bring over your OC with you because he passes over the opportunity, basically says he's not going to be the new head coach. So that's the thing. Now, Dan Lanning is staying, and I think that bodes well for him because if you're someone looking, you know the blueprint you have to go against and you have to beat. You're coming in as the new kid on the block. Yes, there's pressure to have success, not to the level, but you can pretty much go in there and do your business and handle your business in a way that can raise your noise and bar and take you even further than probably had you done what you did or could have done in the Pac-12.
Oh, without a doubt. I think Dan Lanning made probably the right choice to stay at Oregon, right? Keep building his own thing instead of try to sustain someone else's. He has some of those roots there, but I also like Dan Lanning in the Big Ten. I think he has that mindset coming from the SEC. He knows what it takes to compete at the highest levels of football. It's still weird to think that Alabama wasn't able to hire little old Oregon's coach away, right? Phil Knight money and all. Like, they're both Nike schools, so you get that Phil Knight money either way. But the fact that Oregon was able to keep its head coach away from Alabama, I think is a coup for them. I'm not fully sold on Dan Lanning as a national championship head coach, but maybe he is, right? I think Oregon's one of the top 3 teams in the Big Ten next year coming in, even losing Bo Nix. Yeah, the jury's out on Dylan Gabriel. I get it, but Oregon's going to be good. I think Dan Lanning's a part of that. I think he's a great recruiter. Most importantly, he's a closer, Strick, right? He'll get in homes. He'll sign those top prospects. Now, how do they make that transition? Because I don't think Washington's going to make that same transition that Oregon is. Even if they're coming to the same league, I think Oregon, having kept its coach, knowing who its next starting quarterback is going to be, having the guy after the guy too, and getting Dante Moore to be the backup, I trust Oregon a lot. I don't know how much of that is Dan Lanning, but I think Oregon's going to have the smoothest transition into the Big Ten of any of the 4 teams.
If you agree with that, shout out on the Sauter Heyman text line. I do. I think that they're probably going to be the smoothest transition. I think, if you look down and take a look at what's going on with Lincoln Riley, let's just move over to that. Because losing one of your best quarterbacks, Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, now you're going into a new conference. Your defense is still, terrible, to say the least. And you're looking at still a rivalry that exists there. Where do you rank them? Where do you rank them as far as the 4 that's coming in? You obviously said Oregon 1.
It's Oregon 1, UCLA 2. I don't love that, but I think I have to go UCLA 2. Kelly's still the head coach. I think Chip Kelly, what he wants to do at UCLA is kind of what Ohio State's doing. Not to the same level, obviously, but Chip Kelly isn't an aired-out gunslinger, right? He's spread, but Chip Kelly doesn't forget to run the ball. UCLA had some issues, but I think they're a little more blue-collar in the football sense than USC is.
So USC is basically the preppy guys, and then UCLA is basically the hard-nosed guys that are just, kind of mealing around on campus with their head down, just about the business.
UCLA's guys are still going to private school, but, they play in a conference with public schools, right? USC is just playing private schools. This is where it comes down to USC and Washington, Strick. I think they're both going to have a tough time for different
USC
reasons.
Is Lincoln Lutheran?
I wouldn't go that far necessarily. Good try, though. Washington loses so much, right? And I'm not completely sold on Jed Fish, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit. USC just has so many issues, right? New AD just sliding in from Washington, ironically enough. Lincoln Riley hasn't won at that highest level. Caleb Williams is gone. You lose your backup to go start at Boise State. Kind of weird. Integrating new pieces on the defensive side of the coaching staff as well for defense that hasn't been good. I don't know. Give me USC last. So USC will have the toughest transition to the Big Ten. There we go. I'll plant that flag.
Wow. Ted on the text line says Oregon 1, USC 2, Washington 3, and UCLA 4. He disagrees with you on that. But Brad throws it out. He says none of them are Big Ten ready. Brad, you know what? I wish you could call in because I would love to hear your thoughts on that. And Honda Lincoln Hotline, 402-464-5685. I would love to, dabble into that one because of how you get to that, that conclusion.
Yeah, I don't think none of them are Big Ten ready. I mean, let's not forget Oregon waltzing into Columbus and beating Ohio State 2 years ago. That happened. Oregon ran the ball to beat Ohio State. Now, they have to hold up against the full grind of a schedule. But Strick, you and I talked about the Pac-12 all year. That was a much better conference, right? Much improved. Different styles of play, but they've faced Utah, right? Utah is definitely a Big Ten style of team. We wouldn't have any questions about Utah integrating into the Big Ten. Oregon, I think, is going to continue to own in recruiting because Oregon, it's West Coast, but it's not LA. It's not the same weather. It's not the same glitz and glamour necessarily, even with the jerseys and the Nike money and all that. I think Oregon is pretty clearly in the best position. Will they, win double-digit games next year? I won't say that for sure, but I feel much better about Oregon's chances to win double-digit games than any of the other teams.
It's crazy. I think they're in a good position because I still think there's more dominoes to fall with Michigan. I don't know what the situation with Ryan Day is. They're like on the movie Life, Can't Get Right. There's a guy on the movie called Can't Get Right. They some reason they just can't get right, and it's usually can't get right over Michigan. Penn State is the wicked stepchild that is basically stuck in the room, got to clean up all day, all the mess that Michigan and Ohio State spews at them.
Right.
It's like the gorilla that's been laughed at, teased, and he's in the cage, and he, all of a sudden grabs from the backside and throws stuff at people. That's them. They're getting teased, laughed at all the time. I actually think Oregon's in a good place to kind of sneak and creep in the back door and take all your goodies.
I'm with you on that. On the text line, John in Cortland said, Oregon always has a coach that can adapt well. Lanning, I gave my thoughts on him. Washington will be competitive. I'm less sure. And that's where we're going to go next segment, right? There's what's staying in the Big Ten. Who's leaving? Michigan has a lot of questions. Washington has a lot of questions. We'll get to that and plenty more as we continue on the block.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty and pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Seth Morris, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new complete post-workout recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
This is Rick Heyman from Sartor Heyman Jewelers, inviting you to our new outlet jewelry store at 12th and O in downtown Lincoln. Amazingly, we still have fabulous items we bought 1 year ago and beyond. Well, you know what an outlet store is. Unbeatable prices throughout the store. Closeouts up to 70% off. Don't delay. When it's gone, it's gone. You won't see everything on our website, so you gotta come in. The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Opening November 25th in Lincoln at 12th and O.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Ever felt judged at the gym?
You don't know how to use the leg curl machine? Are you serious? This is your first day alive? No, it's okay. I love helping people during their first day on Earth.
At Planet Fitness, get energy without the judgment and join the judgment-free zone. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Get energized today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal extended through Friday, January 19th. See Home Club for details.
Why are New Year's resolutions always about getting to the gym more or dieting? We fail ourselves before the first month of the year is already over. Why not resolve to eat better, tastier foods in 2024? Look no further than Fuhrer's cheese spread. Stop eating your apples, vegetables, crackers, and chips plain. Give them some flavor. Fuhrer's cheese spread awakens your taste buds. Now that's how you start a new year. Find your container of Fuhrer's cheese spread today at your local grocery store.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
So he can maybe run. So like speed option, those things. All you want to do.
Speed. I can't see much.
It's also. Oh, it's.
Early break with
Look what
Sip
you
and
did.
Jake.
Look what. So like speed option.
what you did.
Look
Look at
at
Bill. Come on now.
Also.
I don't
say anything about semicolons.
Look
Should there be a parentheses or too many commas over there?
Too many, don't run on sentences. Don't talk about that. It's not my wheelhouse.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Run on sentences. Don't talk about that. It's not my wheelhouse.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block. Wow, time is flying by. Thank you guys for staying here along with us for the ride. It is a new year. 2024 is here, and we're already halfway through the month. My goodness, how time flies. But we're appreciative continuously of your staying with us here on the block, hanging out with us on the block. But we're going to continue on with the Big Ten football headlines of 2024. Now, who's leaving? We got J.J. Mack declares for the NFL draft. Right move for him? Thoughts? Or is there a little bit more to it? Maybe he has a little bit more information, inside scoop that is kind of saying, you know what, it's time to move forward. I mean, you win a ship.
Mm-hmm.
You've done what you needed to do. You've done what you've come to do. My issue is it's one of the most stacked quarterback drafts in a long time. Did he do enough to raise the bar for him to jump up to the top 3 quarterbacks? Or is there something still hidden about him? Stuff we still need to see or can see? Or is he just going to allow the workouts to take over and then find himself in a good spot? Or does he feel this is the best place to get on the best team at the right time?
I think it's that last part, because I think he is, selling himself high, right?
Mhm.
You think if, your NFL draft stock, like you would anything else in like the stock market, JJ McCarthy played well in the playoff. Did he light the world on fire? No, but he did what was asked of him. Avoided backbreaking mistakes. I mean, the clutch drive at the end against Alabama. And then it was a lot of the running game against Washington, but McCarthy stayed out of the way, made the plays that he was asked to make, didn't do much more. But he's going out a champion. He's going out a winner, beat Ohio State 3 times, won a few Big Ten titles. JJ McCarthy, his stock might never have been higher. Do I agree with the decision? Not necessarily, right? I think JJ McCarthy could have elevated and improved his draft stock with another year of being the guy, of being the man in college. I really do think that JJ McCarthy is talented. I think he has more in the tank than he's been allowed to show or than he's had to show. Michigan's had such great pieces around him, and we know that they're a team that likes to run the ball and then rely on their defense, right?
Yeah.
I think JJ McCarthy has the arm. You've seen what his legs can do as well. But what I don't know if we saw a lot of necessarily, Strick, was the mental part of it. It just always seemed easy for him, right? Because the run game was there. Seems like he got a lot of layup throws. I don't know how well JJ McCarthy stands in the pocket, goes through his progressions, makes his reads. So that's where I fall in the camp of JJ McCarthy is leaving now because he's not a first round pick. It's going to give good teams a chance to pick him up, middle of the draft, and he'll get an education that way. It also might be a reflection of he thinks his head coach is gone. We heard a lot in the lead up to the national championship about Harbaugh's relationship with McCarthy, right? They're close. They get each other. They work well together. If McCarthy thinks Harbaugh is gone, not to say he doesn't like Sharon Moore or whoever else might take over, but if Harbaugh's your guy and you think he's leaving, it only makes sense to jump. I don't think he's more than a, day 2 pick at best, but he's a complicated evaluation for me, Strick, because if you look at his recruiting pedigree, you look at the arm talent we think he possesses and his ability to run too, the physical tools and traits are there, but does it always match up with what's on film? No. You haven't seen him make nearly as many high-level throws as even like a Michael Penix did the last couple of years at Washington. So it's a bet on potential, but you have to make sure the mental side is far along in terms of the processing.
Well said. Well stated. And as we stay with Michigan football, it looks as if Coach Harbaugh is interviewing, and it's not with Michigan. But do you see this interview with the Los Angeles Chargers? Like, this team has great cap room still. They're, they're a team that's got some talent, both on the offensive and the defensive side. But when you look at the Chargers, do you, in this interview, do you look at this as a possible leverage move or to maybe get to a different team? Or do you kind of look at it as, you know what, it's time to make an exit. Let me get somewhere where I don't have to do as much in, like going to Chargers is different than going possibly to Washington, right?
Big time.
Yeah, there's just, there's a little bit more work that needs to be done. So how do you view the interview process that's going on right now?
I think it's leverage to some degree, but is it leverage for other NFL teams or is it leverage against Michigan? That's my question. Because I've been on the boat all year, Strick, that Harbaugh's gone, that he's going to the NFL. Maybe he is a true Michigan man. Maybe he changes his mind and he wants to stick at Michigan. But I think you and I are both agreed that there are some penalties coming down the pipe for Michigan, are there not?
Yeah, I believe there's something still left to be a couple leaves unturned.
Right. So in that case, dip while you can, right? Because my guess is Jim Harbaugh will have his next NFL job and then be done. I don't see Jim Harbaugh
going and coming back
into his 70s. I don't see Jim Harbaugh going to the pros and then going back to college, right?
Yeah.
Had success at Stanford, had success, the ultimate success at his alma mater. Where else would he go and why? Unless he really has that coaching bug. But if he's back in the NFL, I feel like it'd be easier for him to parachute with an NFL job than a college job. I think he makes sense in San Diego. I think he would like to go there. You have a franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert, attractive free agent destination if you ever choose to go that route. and a decent track record of drafting, at least the prospects they get, you're like, hey, that's a pretty good pick for the Chargers.
You better get your money because they're going to take a lot of. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I didn't mean
there is that part.
There's that part.
There's that part. But would you rather go to
defer some of that?
No kidding. As much of it as possible until you move back out
Do
of
it,
state.
Ohtani. Right.
Right. Would you rather, if you're Jim Harbaugh, coach the Chargers or the Titans?
I still think the Titans got a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but easier division, and you can have, if
that
you
is
want more decision-making power, you might have some
there.
in Tennessee.
And I think the market is a little bit quieter than to go out to the LA market.
Mm-hmm.
Like the LA market, the Chargers to me are very much like the Clippers to the Lakers.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get a lot of the scrutiny, but you don't get a lot of the hype.
Sure.
For getting the work done.
Mm-hmm.
Even no matter how successful the Clippers are, they're always still the second.
Mm-hmm. They're the younger brother, second fiddle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To the Lakers. So that's the way I view it. So if you don't mind being that, it doesn't seem to me that. I think Harbaugh likes the swag that comes with the position of who you are now. I think Tennessee will be a little bit quieter for him. I think he'll be able to massage and take care of that organization in a way that can go under the radar. I think the division that they're in is one that's manageable, like you said. So it just depends on what he wants. Obviously, his money's going to go a lot longer for sure, whatever you sign there.
Right. Now, here's the thing. Jim Harbaugh's a competitor. Like, I don't think he's going to be one that's going to be scared and run from the challenge of the AFC West if that's where he goes. But coaching against Andy Reid, who is a first ballot Hall of Famer when he gets his chance at it, Sean Payton, who I still think is a good coach, even if Denver's not all that great. And who knows with the Raiders, right? You can kind of write them off. But two of those teams are pretty tough. I mean, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They've run that division for a while. On the flip side, you have the Jaguars who've really stalled out in their rebuild. There's got to be another step there or something's got to change. You have Houston who looks legit, but they're still young. Who knows what next year holds? And then you have Indianapolis who continues to stumble and bumble on the doorstep of the playoffs. The AFC South feels so much more. Welcome to my life, Strick. I don't want to ever recommend or think Jim Harbaugh running from a challenge, but if your goal is playoffs every year,
playoffs, Indiana, playoffs,
Tennessee.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Touche.
That's where I'm at with it. So I do think he ends up taking one of those two jobs. Ultimately, he's not going to Atlanta. They don't want him. I don't think he's tops on the Commanders list. I don't think he's tops on Seattle's list. I think it's down to the Chargers and the Titans for him.
Who wants Belichick more? Which of those with the openings would want Belichick more? And
well, the answer is Dallas.
Who would invigorate Belichick to just, posture up and get a second wind? Do you think?
I think it's too straightforward in Dallas. I think it's too plug and play. I don't think that's enough of a challenge to invigorate him. Washington might be, but here's my question for you, Strick. If Belichick goes to Washington, does he keep Bieniemy? Does Bieniemy want to stay?
Yeah, that doesn't seem like you have two bullheaded alpha men that deal with things in a different way. That would be tough. I could see Bieniemy possibly with how things have gone, because KC has lost something that to me is creativity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what's been lost for me, the combination of Andy Reid and the heads of those two coming together. There was a lot of creativity in that. Even you saw it without Tyreek Hill. So I could see him maybe going back, but why would he? Because he still wants to make And it's sad that his name still doesn't come to the forefront.
Would
so
he fit Atlanta?
There's something going on that is not allowing him into the top brass space of a head coach. There's something going on. Now, I don't know what it is, but there's got to be something, because there's way more conversations out there of other people than even his name that comes forth.
So the Commanders' offense wasn't great. 24th in the league, 313 yards per game, and they scored 39 touchdowns on offense. We know Bieniemy is a good coach, right? We don't have to relitigate that. Dude knows how to coach offensive football. Is the talent just that bad? Does he need more time in Washington? Was it the head coach holding him back in Washington? Is it as simple as the quarterback? Is it Sam Howell not being that guy? I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I expected a little more out of Washington this year on offense.
I did too. I thought they had a chance to. I mean, especially even before they got there, they were knocking on the door. Outside of a late, slip the year before.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
They were right there in the thick of things. I mean, at one point in time, it was looking like they were going to get potentially 4 teams into the playoffs. I mean, they got 3, but it was looking that good. I mean, obviously they're knocking each other off, so somebody had to go down, and it was just a late falling off the wagon that cost them a playoff berth. But so you would have thought there would have been another step that they would have taken this year.
Right.
That's what I would have thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it didn't happen. Unfortunate.
No. I do want to know your thoughts on this, though. Which team from the national championship game wins more games next year? Is it Michigan? Is it Washington?
I think monitor the penalization of Michigan. If they get penalized in some form or fashion, if there's an exodus, if Harbaugh leaves and there's an exodus, I think depending on who the hire is, I think Sherrod Moore, if they keep him or retain him, I think he has the pulse of the team, especially what he was able to do when Harbaugh had the 3-game suspension. Look at who they would determine to hire, and I think it would be smart to hire internally and do something like that because you want to keep the culture. But if penalties fall and then Harbaugh leaves, watch for a mass exodus. Depending on what the penalty, that's what I mean by watch the penalization. What is the penalties going to be? Is it going, what's it going to cost them to stay? So how heavy is it? A lot of those things are going to be something to watch for. So barring there's no penalties, then I would definitely say Michigan fares better than Washington.
I'm not so sure. Like, I don't think Washington's going to be that good, but I think the penalties have a lot to do with it. When we talked about DeBoer to Alabama, right? I said Alabama was probably going to be playoff good for a couple more years just because of residual talent. I think Kale and DeBoer and that staff did such a good job developing guys. I don't want to, write off Jed Fish necessarily. He just strikes me as like a 1.5, 2-year wonder at this point, right? He's got more to prove. Whereas DeBoer has been a winner at every level he's gone to. Washington is just losing some of the most important pieces on its team. Penix, gone. Odunze McMillan, Polk, gone. Dylan Johnson, gone. Starting left tackle, gone. Couple key players on defense, also
Which
out the door.
Great.
Right, no. Not great, but most of your playmakers, right, are gone from that defense. Michigan, all it keeps, though, Donovan Edwards, RB, 1B. You keep Rod Moore, and you keep Josiah Stewart, who is really good, right? Transfer up from Coastal Carolina. But who do you lose from Michigan? J.J. McCarthy with no clear answer at quarterback.
Blake
Corum gone. Zach Zinter gone.
You get the defense back.
Some of the defense. A little
Some
bit
key
of the
pieces
defense.
of especially up front.
A lot of them, though, haven't. I mean, you lose Colson, you lose Junior Colson, Chris Jenkins, you lose McGregor, Wallace, and Harrell. That's a lot gone. I think those are both 8 or 9 win teams next year. I really do. Let me pull up the schedules real quick just to confirm that.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to throw this out to you. Did the move that Ohio State made in the acquisition of Judkins, is that watching the blueprint and trying to catch up with what you've basically taken a lot of L's over the last 3 years? Or is it something else to it that you're trying to reestablish? Because I think that they lost their way when, you go from having Ezekiel Elliott and Maurice Claret types and
even Eddie George, who won a fraudulent Heisman.
You know what I mean? You go from losing that and you kind of lost your way. Is that just kind of a form of trying to get back to it, you think?
I think that's part of it. I mean, they already had Travion Henderson, who's good, but not as exciting as Judkins, who's used to splitting time at Ole Miss. Electrifying dude, right? Ole Miss ran the ball pretty darn well, right? Under Lane. It wasn't a spread him out to throw it offense all the time, right? That was a run-based offense. So I like the addition of Quinshon Judkins for them. Ohio State gets so much backstreak. Ohio State's my Big Ten favorite next year.
Even above Penn State.
Even above Penn State, even above Oregon. To me, if Ohio State doesn't win the Big Ten next year, something has gone drastically wrong. They get Henderson back. They get Emeka Egbuka back, who was injured, right? You add Jeremiah Smith in that receiving core, the number one prospect. You get the addition of Judkins, Will Howard. We'll see what he's like, but I tend to like that for them. Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau on the defensive line, and Denzel Burke at cornerback, along with other starters. It's absolutely Ohio State's conference to lose, in my opinion.
Well said. There it is. Throw out the gauntlet. Anything else? Any thoughts that you may have? 402-464-5685 to join into this discussion as well. But we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have our guy, our resident, our Hall of Famer.
You're our Hall of Famer.
Well, hey, listen, on the football side of things, that is that man, Jay Foreman. He'll be joining us on the crossover right after this. 93.7 The Ticket at ticketfm.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor at just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
We wait all pro football season for the big game. But will you come out on top? Warhorse Festival of Games is putting you at the center of the action with 2 chances to win big. Earn entries for our $100,000 prop card challenge daily at Warhorse Casino Lincoln. Enjoy slots, sports wagering, and horse racing. Then make your picks about the big game to be eligible to win. Qualifying entries will also be put in the running for your share of the $20,000 grand prize drawing. Increase your luck for the drawing by playing free online games on the Festival of Games website. Skip the trip to Vegas and get in on the big game right here at Lincoln's favorite place to play. And if that's not enough, our $1 Million Bracket Challenge for college basketball is coming soon. Full details are online at warhorsecasino.com. Warhorse Casino Lincoln, just minutes from downtown at Highway 77 and West Denton Road. Why not today? Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
As the chief buffet officer here at Pizza Ranch, I get all kinds of buffet questions. Here's one from Cole.
Is there a real cactus in your cactus bread?
Great question, Cole. No, there is no cactus in our cactus bread, just sweet cinnamony streusel. It's on our buffet every day, along with pizza, chicken, ice cream, and all your other favorites. Even better, at least for your parents, kids eat free on Tuesday nights. And don't worry, Cole, there's no coal in our coleslaw either.
Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Coppell. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Coppell. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at coppellcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G20768.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-2840.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back one final time here during On the Block. It is Austin Norman and Erick Strickland, joined now by Jay Foreman. Jay, we won't talk any NFL, won't steal any of your thunder. I know you're pretty excited about the early developments in Buffalo. But Strick and I were asking this question.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them?
How about them Cowboys?
No, don't talk to me. I wasn't wrong.
You been in Dallas. How about them Cowboys?
I mean, I've been in Dallas, but
how about them
they
Cowboys?
Ain't my favorite team.
I know. I'm just.
They're not my favorite.
I'm just messing.
Everybody else. I'm not a fair weather one either. I mean, listen. I do root for teams. In okay, so here's how my hierarchy goes.
Who's your number one team?
There you go. See,
okay,
that's one.
right.
So I root for the teams. My hierarchy goes by where I had the best experience.
Okay.
From where I played in the league, because I'm a military kid, so I didn't grow up anywhere particular where. Right.
Yeah.
So I root that way. So Dallas is 1A, and Boston is 1B.
So Patriots and the Cowboys.
Right?
Cowboys, Patriots.
Okay. So if I'm not happy about the 1A situation, then I shift to underdog mode. I then go with now. I obviously played in Milwaukee, so that is one of the teams
Green Bay.
that And then when I was playing in Milwaukee, like Nebraska folks was there. You had, Tyrone was there. And
Amon. Yeah, a lot of cats.
So I had guys I was rooting.
Yeah,
so,
Shirley Gill was up there working in the thing.
So for me, then that's how the hierarchy. So in this game, even though they're 1A, I was rooting for the underdogs because I'm an underdog guy. They're the youngest team
in the league.
No one would have expected. They didn't have any star players on
receivers of substance.
Yeah.
Put some respect on Samori's name.
Yeah, I'm talking about anybody. I mean, you got to think. Look at Dallas's receivers.
Right.
I'm doing comparison. Right. And you know the funny thing about that Green Bay game is that about like 4 weeks ago, Jordan Love was. They were talking about
getting him out of there,
getting him up out of there.
Yeah.
And trying to trade up and get a draft pick. Then he gets hot. And just started to develop. I think they got healthier on defense with Alexander coming back, and he brings a certain amount of swagger on both sides of the ball. Obviously, the coin flip thing was probably a little bit too much.
That's legendary.
Yeah, but
that's legendary. That's better than Jameis victory formation.
I want a podcast and a day in the life of him and Jameis running simultaneously on a split screen because. Jair Alexander said after the game, he's like, I always rank the quarterbacks whoever I get at least 2 or more interceptions at. He's like, well, I had 2 against Dak. Now he's one of my favorite quarterbacks. This dude right there, listen, he's not talking
super troll.
He's not talking in the third person. He's in the fourth person.
Yeah,
that's it. So yeah, man, it was a good time though, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rick, I want to ask you. Speaking of the Bucks, man, I don't want to take the crossover. What'd you think about Dame time? We've seen it so much from him. So it comes to the point because, contrary to the belief, Dame has 4 game-winning shots. The only person that has more is LeBron. It was 7, just to let you know. But now, hey, Strick. Hey, every time, Strick, listen. Strick, you know you're my dog, though, right? Because listen.
No, I'm about to go at you now, man. We got to go now.
Oh my God!
Now here's
Strick,
the thing, man. Let's go. They gave that man the MVP on a mediocre play-in situation, and there's no way he should have won it because AD had better numbers by category, and you can go and count them. So he gonna get the credit, even though he don't deserve it.
Mm-hmm. And then he gonna get the blame. Any blame when he don't deserve it.
They're gonna blame
Thank you,
somebody else.
Strick,
They're gonna blame. That's the problem. They're gonna blame AD.
Look at you. Had your indigestion up there. You can't even say.
Yeah, because I got burp that foolishness out.
You can't even say. But here's the problem, Austin. Strick and this is how I know Strick. Strick will post some stuff about Kobe or LeBron and put something on it, and I just be letting it ride. I'll be because I know every time you do it, he'd be like, yeah, I'm going at Jay. But no, back to seriousness though. Dame Lillard. Talk about that from being on his team. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think he's 1B. Giannis is definitely 1A, and Middleton is a close 2A. Right? Am I correct?
I would agree with you.
Right? And then you got Bobby Porter. But talk about being on a team.
My guy Bobby.
Right.
Bobby Peasy.
Hey, Bob Peasy, break your jaw too. I mean, he
ain't
did that
before. Don't watch your mouth.
Quick jab, right. Bobby. Right. Talk about being on a team with a player like that. You expect to nail that type of deep 3 with 7 seconds left. It ain't even run a set. Just like do your thing. And then being an opponent. And where did Fox make the mistake? Because I think he made a mistake early in the possession by letting him catch it with full head of steam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong. You're the expert and I'm not.
I agree with you. I think you want to deny to a point to where you force him to come back to the ball. Then you want to turn a couple of times. And if we would have had a timeout or something, it would have been a turn to release to next guy to then I'm going weak, not strong, because as he's going, I'm turning him, say he's going towards the right side of the court.
Right.
I'm turning him one more time and going straight weak corner. Whoever else that's next in line is going to be a guard because we don't give a dang about anything. He's going to be high enough to take him strong side stays, and we're right there in his face for any type of challenge that's necessary. I'm not letting him just get full head of steam. He pulls up on that. That's kind of how I would have had us, talked about how to guard it.
Right.
But at the same time, what better time for Dame to have these type of moment prior to going into the All-Star break,
right?
Which they're going to need more of that of him,
right?
As you
Going
get towards
forward,
the second half of the season, because Giannis has been just the one that's been the dominating factor in a lot of that they're doing, and a lot of the success that they have, just his domination. But to have Lillard step up in that moment, even after just having a moderate shooting night, to be able to have the sack to take that.
And then also you got to think Middleton was out that game, didn't play, and then you got Bobby Portis, and then Lopez, who was the defensive player of the year last year, is still a defensive, stud, but he's not playing at the clip that he was last year.
50% from 3 too,
right?
At that size,
right?
That's huge for this team.
This team, right? Yeah, because that's a matchup problem coming a 7-game series.
That part.
I just think the ability to have a guy to where, say, Giannis is like, hey, look, man, I ain't feeling it tonight. I'm only gonna get you 20, 18. You Middleton, Dame, y'all got to bring it home, and that's what I think. Where a couple years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, after they won the championship. Then they got put out, and then remember they got just bum rushed, and they looked old. Real old. Because remember they picked up the lefty from Utah,
Joe Ingles.
Joe Ingles.
Yeah.
They just looked slow. They had to revamp it, fired their coach, and then also talk about this new coach that they got from Toronto, because he would
Nurse?
Adrian Griffin.
Adrian Griffin.
Oh.
AJ Griffin said. Most important.
Yeah, he was around my time.
So talk about him, because that's a hard situation to come into, because this is your first opportunity, right? And I don't know if you ever experienced that, but then you have a superstar, Hall of Fame, generational player that you have to adhere to.
You got two of them.
Two of them, but mainly it's Giannis.
It's you whether or not he stays or go.
Right.
So that's
there's a whole
pressure.
bunch of things. You got to win now. It's your first opportunity in the job. You can't, make Giannis mad. You got Dame coming in, who kind of came out of nowhere. It seemed like not like Milwaukee was his first choice from everything that we knew, right? We expected him to end up at the Heat, right, Strick? Am I right on that?
Yeah.
So you get another guy in there. You got to see if he's invested. Talk about that from a coaching standpoint, how hard that could be for a first-time head coach, regardless of your playing experience, because that's a lot of pressure night in and night out, because you don't know, like with Kawhi Leonard, you don't know what's going to set him off. You know what I mean? Like with KD and the dust up with Draymond in Houston. He's like, we won without but they went on and played. You don't know what night it could be that they refer back to that either cost you Giannis, let alone eventually cost you your job.
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough. But I'll say one of the guys to me that they needed to get, and it was good that they got rid of Grayson Allen. Like, you miss his defense, but if you're going to be a high-scoring type of team, and you got guys behind you with, like you said, Brook Lopez, you got guys behind you, you can afford out front to give up a little something. But I think the pickup of Malik Beasley was huge.
Yep, and get him out of LA, get him out of Minneapolis, get his mind back to where, because he's in my opinion, I think obviously I don't think he's a superstar, but I think he's one of those Caldwell Pope dudes that, when
those
you
glue
win,
type of guys.
glue guys, you win a championship, two-way player, 3-level scorer, and can have a couple week run to where he's hitting you for 16, 17, 24, 15. Those bridge guys to where whatever's going on, he can win you some games.
Yeah, there it is. Oh man, great show today. Good topics. We didn't get to talk about the NFC and AFC with you. Unfortunately, we got into some basketball stuff, but great stuff. I know you're gonna get into it.
Man,
how your boys off to a good start?
14. You know what time it is. AD, do you know what time? I saw AD in here with his Franco Harris jersey on. Yeah, but he gonna see me tomorrow with that 55 on. Bring it home, B-Lo.
There it is. We're gonna see you mañana on the block. Peace.
When it comes to joining the Nebraska Army National Guard, you've heard it all before. college, healthcare, signing bonus. But joining is so much more than that. It's setting yourself up for a new and better chapter of your life. I'm Staff Sergeant Paul White, and because of the Nebraska Army National Guard, I'm in control of my career. And when the workday ends, I get to come home to my family. Write your next chapter by joining the Nebraska Army National Guard. For more information, schedule a meeting with me, Staff Sergeant Paul White at nationalguard.com.
You can get diesel anywhere, but what about
Atomic Diesel?
That comes from Stern. Atomic Diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems. Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with
Atomic Diesel.
Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how
Atomic Diesel
and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive